Vercel is a hosting and automation platform that allows developers to deploy static web applications easily and quickly. In addition, Vercel offers a free plan that includes static website hosting, SSL certificates, continuous integration, and more. In this example, we're going to see how to deploy the Get Started NextJS project from Content Island on Vercel. The first thing we need to deploy this project is a GitHub repository. We open our GitHub account and click on Create a new repository. We give it a name such as, for instance, Get Started with Deploying on Vercel. We can make it public or private as per our choice, whichever we prefer, because later we'll grant Vercel permission to connect to the repository. And at this stage, we click directly on the Create button without adding any files. We copy the URL of the repository we just created and clone it to our computer into an empty folder using the following command: git clone the URL, a space and a period at the end. We add this period at the end so that Git doesn't create an extra folder with the name of the repository. Now, having cloned the repository with the Next.js project to our computer, we simply copy all the content and paste it into the project we just created and upload it to the repository using the following commands: git add dot, git commit with a preliminary message, and finally a git push to the repository to the remote server. We check that the project is now uploaded to our GitHub repository. To configure deployment on Vercel, we need to have an account on the platform. Once logged in on the main page, we simply click the Add New Array button and easily select the project option. If it's our first time doing this, we need to grant Vercel permission to access our GitHub account. Vercel requires these permissions to deploy our project seamlessly and integrate with our repositories. Alternatively, you can choose another Git provider, such as GitLab or Bitbucket, depending on your preference and existing setup. Each provider has its own set of features and benefits, so consider what best suits your needs. We can select all repositories or only the ones we want. In this case, we select the repository we just created. Once configured, we can now select the repository we want to deploy and the configuration options will appear. It has automatically taken the same name as the repository for the application. If we want, we can change it. By default, it has selected the framework we're using, NextJS, although there are many others available if needed. Additionally, we can change the build settings if needed, although in this case, we're going to leave the default ones. What we are essentially going to do is add a new environment variable. Because remember that when the project build is executed, it connects to our Content Island project in order to retrieve the data for each post, so we need to configure the environment variable Content Island secret token as a crucial step and get the value provided by Content Island in the General tab to ensure proper configuration and seamless integration with our system. And we click on Deploy. After a while, once the build and deployment are finished, our project will be deployed and ready. And that's just it. It looks like it's done. We now have our project with Content Island and Next.js deployed on Vercel.